Welcome back to the Sports Unleashed podcast for another episode. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
Gavin McAfee.
Benda.
Lil Rob.
So, as we saw tonight, a new edition of the CFB rankings have been released. Some teams took some big jumps. Some teams went down. Big jump to me was Texas Tech moving all the way up to number 6. I thought that was surprising. I didn't think they'd jump Ole Miss. I think Texas Tech's a solid team. I think they could win the Big 12. It'll probably be against that winner of the game coming up in a couple weeks between BYU and Cincy. Speaking of BYU, they dropped down to 12. Vandy moved up 2 spots. Miami moved up 3 spots. Virginia losing dropped them to 5 spots to 19. Louisville dropped 5 spots as well as they lost to, was it Cal, I think? Was it Cal? Cal? Okay. And then Tennessee somehow at 6-3 is number 23 in the country, which is an absolute joke. Their best win's Kentucky. I mean, they're not good. They haven't beat a single good team all year. USF, the new group of 5 projected, is number 24. And Cincy roll out at 25, which is big for them, which means if they win out and somehow make the Big 12 championship, they got a chance. So, I mean, that's all I got. I think the biggest shocker to me was the fact they put Texas Tech over Ole Miss. So, that's it for me.
Yeah, I think Texas Tech was definitely the biggest surprise for me, jumping Ole Miss. Kind of the first team we've seen to jump another team after them still winning like that, especially in the top 10. So that's big. I'm glad to see Cincy back in it. Like Bro said, we still got a chance. Just got to win out, which is going to be very difficult, but still have a chance. And it's good to see Michigan get bumped up a little bit too, but everything else was pretty normal, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's nothing really crazy. I was kind of expecting them to jump Texas A&M over Indiana, though, just because Indiana struggled a little bit, and Texas A&M has looked better just from the eye test. Obviously, they haven't lost a game yet, but I just was surprised there because I felt like they've looked like a better team recently. And then, honestly, past that, I don't know. I feel like BYU maybe should have dropped a spot or 2 more. I would like to see them throw Utah above them. I just feel like they've been better recently. And that loss was so bad that just like, I don't know. I mean, 5 spots just doesn't seem worthy enough. I mean, they haven't played really anybody good the whole season. BYU, that is. And then they just get absolutely stomped by Texas Tech. So, I mean, it wasn't even close. So, I mean, you got Vandy 2 spots below them. I think Vandy is arguably better than BYU as well. So, I mean, other than that, I don't got much to say. Glad to see Michigan jump up as well.
Something I think's interesting is, honestly, I think I kind of somewhat agree with Texas Tech being in the position that they're at. They absolutely dominated a top 10 team, and BYU did beat Utah, so they have a good win under their belt. I don't think that they're a terrible team, but I think Texas Tech just really proved themselves, and Ole Miss hasn't done too much recently. They haven't been playing great teams, so I support it. I'm not too surprised by it. But for Indiana and Texas A&M, I think Indiana's look more complete most of the season. Maybe they haven't played as good a schedule as A&M. I think it's close, but I think that Indiana's looked better for most of the season. I think they had their first close game, but A&M's also been in more close games. Indiana's mostly just been dominating people, so I don't mind not switching it up. I don't think A&M's win over Missouri is enough to bump them up. Missouri had their backup quarterback, so I'm not ready to just bump them up out of nowhere for no reason. And other than that, I was kind of surprised to see Iowa only go down 1 spot. They have 3 losses and really no big wins, but I guess the thing for them is they've had close games versus every good team they've played. So I guess that kind of makes sense, but Tennessee still being ranked makes 0 sense to me. They've done absolutely jack shit nothing. They should be unranked easily. And, yeah, that's kind of all I got right now. I think the top 10's pretty good altogether.
Yeah, I agree with that. Top 10 is pretty solid for me. Moving into some games that happened last week. We'll start off with the team we just talked about, Indiana. Had a scare this weekend in Happy Valley. They were trailing in that fourth quarter. took a sack the first play of the drive, and then Fernando Mendoza, shit, I can't pronounce his last name, but he led in an absolutely insane drive, making throws all over the place. And then Omar Cooper, wow, made the catch of the year. Don't know how he kept his foot in. That catch was incredible. Mendoza was on a phenomenal drive. That was a Heisman moment for him right there, for his Heisman campaign for sure. But the one thing that stuck out to me throughout this entire game watching this was Indiana's run defense and middle of the field pass defense was very suspect. I mean, Nicholas Singleton ran all over them. I mean, this game he had 115 rushing yards. I mean, understand Penn State's got two solid running backs. I mean, but you cannot be letting Penn State roll in there 115 rushing yards from one single guy. I mean, I know Indiana's defense is supposed to be solid, but like Penn State, I know they got some talented players, but I mean, if you're number 2 in the country, you should be able to stop them and win this game by a lot more than they did. So I'm not saying they're not a complete team. I think they are, but I don't think they're as good as people. They're not insane as people thought.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad at myself because I was watching, I think, a different game, and then I bounced over to this game, and I just figured it was over, so I decided to go take a nap towards the end, like before it started getting interesting at the end. And I woke up from my nap and realized that Grunkin fart or whatever his name is almost came back and somehow beat Indiana, which I wish would have happened, but it didn't still. Like I said, I didn't watch too much of the game. The catch that they had was absolutely insane in the back of the end zone. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that, but yeah, that's about all I got for that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off what Bro said earlier. They didn't look very well, and they were getting pounded in the run game. So that is honestly why I wish I would have seen Texas A&M jump them in the rankings. But I mean, I watched a good amount of the game, and I honestly didn't. I didn't even watch the end of the game. I watched most of the first half, but I didn't watch the end of the game. I saw the catch though; that was absolutely phenomenal. That's one of the best catches I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how he got a foot down. It was crazy, but yeah, I mean, Indiana's pulled up some close games recently, so I mean, they gotta figure out a way to make a bigger lead and not have these close games down the stretch. But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, they're winning, so you can't complain. But definitely got to watch out.
For Indiana, I'm not too shocked by how this game went. I think for Penn State, their strength is their two running backs. They have these two really good running backs. Games at Penn State. I mean, I know Penn State's had a really bad year, but Penn State has also had every single one of their losses be close. I mean, it's not like they're getting just fucked every game. Like they've been close, and it's still a road game. It's still Penn State. I mean, they have talent, especially defensively and in the running back room. Like, I'm not too surprised that this game is close. I mean, they're very comparable talent-wise. In Indiana, I mean, this is really their second close game all year, though. I mean, I don't think they've had anything close recently besides this one. I mean, their other close game is Iowa on the road, which they didn't look too good in that one, but they still beat a good defensive team in that as well. So I'm really not giving them too much shade. I mean, they had that great win versus Oregon, and I just don't think you could really hold it against them. I think that they do deserve their ranking. But honestly, you could probably put any combination of the teams 1, 2, and 3, and it wouldn't be too much of a travesty because I think they're all decently close, at least with their resumes right now. And that catch was really crazy. And Mendoza definitely had a big moment right there for his Heisman campaign. I don't know if that'll be enough, just because it wasn't like a huge game, but definitely helps them a lot. And good for Indiana for keeping their undefeated streak alive.
Absolutely, 100%. A couple more games I'd like to touch on before we make some picks for next week. Texas Tech, as we talked about, dominated BYU 29-7. I mean, the run game was absolutely incredible for them. Also, their defense is very good. They were swarming Bachmeier all over the place. And it just felt like BYU couldn't get anything rolling offensively. I mean, Texas Tech was just forcing turnovers left and right, and it felt like they were capitalizing on it every single drive. So, I mean, Texas Tech, I think, is a real dangerous threat. I think they could be either a CFB. I think they can make the quarterfinals or the semis with this defense they have, I mean, I think they're solid. I'm saying that's potential. I'm not saying they're going to get there, but I think they could potentially get there. And then next one, Oregon and Iowa. That was an Iowa Kinnick Stadium game right there. I mean, this game was absolutely boring to watch. But I mean, we kind of expected that with the weather. We knew that was coming into Kinnick. I mean, Iowa, they scored. They had all the momentum. They were winning the game with under a minute to go. And then Dante Moore makes two incredible throws, leads them right down the field. And then Atticus Sappington with the game-winning field goal and just destroys Iowa's dreams and says bye-bye. So, yeah, Oregon ends Iowa's season. It was a rough game, but Oregon survives and Texas Tech rolls.
Yeah, going into this week, I knew Texas Tech's defense was like pretty solid, but I still didn't know like how good they were. Before watching this game, they just completely shut down BYU, and just to watch that score just keep building up and up, and seeing BYU at 0 was insane for a majority of that game. Yeah, I was just not expecting BYU to just get completely shut down like that. And then that Iowa game that was like pure Big Ten football. It was like great defensive game. It was like punts back and forth, just back and forth football. And yeah, that was just a great overall game to watch.
Yeah, for the Tech and BYU game, I think I was the only one that picked BYU, because I thought it'd be a close game and they'd pull it out. But man, was I
I
wrong?
picked
They
BYU.
looked like trash. Oh, okay. But yeah, they just looked like absolute doo doo. I mean, good for Tech. They definitely look like they're the best team in the Big 12 right now. So, obviously they're probably gonna be the favorites for the Big 12 championship as of now. And then going to the Iowa-Oregon game, I only watched the fourth quarter because I was at work. But when I did watch the fourth quarter, it was pretty awesome. It's just like a classic Big Ten game: rain, low scoring, run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, that kind of thing. But yeah, that final drive for Oregon was crazy. The throw and catch they had for about 35 yards was one of the best placement balls I've ever seen. The DB had his hand right there, and he just fitted in perfectly to get them down the field and
Yeah,
set them up for field goal range. It was crazy, especially since they had been struggling the whole second half throwing the ball. But yeah, good win for Oregon. I picked Iowa to win that too. I thought this was their moment, being at Kinnick and being a reigning, Big Ten game. So good for Oregon, but I thought really Iowa had it.
Yeah, everyone in that Tech BYU game. Me and Will Rob are the only ones that picked Tech. Everyone else was BYU.
Okay, I thought it was flopped the other way then. My bad.
Yeah, for me, watching the beginning of that Texas Tech game, I mean, it was crazy just how fast it became a blowout. I think Tech just dominated them on both sides of the ball. They did what they needed to do on offense, and then defensively, they just did not let anything up. Just the whole game, they just realistically owned BYU. And honestly, Texas Tech could have probably scored more. They had a few drives stall in the red zone, lead to some field goals. I think that it probably could have been worse than it was. So for BYU, honestly, you should be thankful that it wasn't worse on the scoreboard. But I think Texas Tech is now just far and away the best team in the Big 12. I mean, they are the clear favorites, and I'd be shocked if anyone else wins the Big 12 at this point because they look really, really good. And I think the rest of the season, I'd be shocked if they lose another game in terms of Big 12 play. And I'm definitely going to be picking them in their remaining games until probably the playoffs. But for Oregon, I did think Iowa was going to win. I don't regret picking Iowa. It was at Iowa. We all mentioned how the game went with the rain and everything. I just think that they left a little too much time for Oregon. Now, Oregon actually ran the ball pretty well on Iowa. That was something I was a little surprised with, and that's the reason why they were in such a good position until Iowa made a good possession late to take the lead. But, Iowa had their chance late, but who would have guessed that their defense was the reason that they lost? It was a good drive by Oregon to end the game, and then the great kick. Iowa didn't get the 2-point conversion, which was huge. And at that point, I kind of thought in my head, like, uh-oh, Oregon's got too much time. They're only down 1. That's when I kind of thought that Oregon would do it, and they did. So good win for them. And then Iowa's got nothing to be mad about. Just couldn't pull it out in the end.
Yeah, a statement from Tech and then a close, good win for Oregon. As we move on from last week, moving this week, we're going to make some picks for the next upcoming games. So we'll start with a game that College Game Day will be at. Number 9, Notre Dame, going on the road to face number 22, Pitt. This matchup I think is interesting. I don't know if you heard what the Pitt head coach had to say earlier in the week about this. He said that it is not a must-win game. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, this is a must-win game because it is very possible with the ACC right now and what it is. Like, they might not even get one team in. Like, it's very possible. I mean, I know they in the playoff projections they had Miami, Florida in. I don't know how. I don't think Miami, Florida's that good. You know, they beat Notre Dame. I mean, that's a good win. But they've lost to, was it SMU and was it Georgia Tech or was it someone else? Oh, it was Louisville. But yeah, in this game, I think it's going to be a good game. Mason Heinschel has been incredible for Pitt, Northwest Ohio native. I mean, he's been great. Do I think he'll have a good game? Yes. Will it be enough? No. I'm going with the Irish to get it done in this one. I just think Jeremiah Love is the difference maker. I mean, if he has a big day, it's over for Pitt. So give me the Irish over the Panthers.
Yeah, going back to that press conference, like I can kind of see what he was talking about with the ACC. Like I guess he's just talking about those rankings, but at the end of the day, I don't know how you stand up there as a head coach and say that a game against a top 10 opponent is not a must-win game. Like those are the games you live for. Those are this is their biggest game of the season. You got to go in, make a statement, and win that game. They've been playing really well ever since Mason took over at that QB job. I don't think they're going to be able to get it done though. Like you said, I think Jeremiah Love, he's been playing ridiculously good lately, and I think they're just going to keep handing him the ball, and I don't think Pitt's defense is going to have anything to stop him. So, I mean, Pitt might still have a chance at that ACC title maybe, but I don't think they have any chance in this game. I got Notre Dame.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of concerning from the Pitt coach to say something like that when this is such a huge game to play for. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take Notre Dame as well. I would like to say it is cool to see a guy like Heinschel play at such a high level and play in the ACC for a team like Pitt, especially since he came from our same high school league. So that's kind of cool to see. But I just don't think that they're the better team in this scenario. But I would like to see Pitt win, honestly.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page with Hayden there. It's cool for Mason to be in the position he's in. He's looked really good, and he has Pitt. He has them ranked and in a huge game, but I don't like what the head coach said, and I think Notre Dame just has too much firepower. I mean, I think they'll be able to just run the ball over them all day. It's both Jeremiah Love and Price, their backup running back. They're both really good, and I just don't think Pitt's defense is nearly good enough to really, make this a super close game. I think that Notre Dame will probably pull away late just because, Pitt won't be able to keep up because I think Notre Dame will score pretty much whenever they want. So I'm going to have to go with Notre Dame.
All right, clean sweep there for the Irish. Next game we got SEC matchup at 3:30. The number 11 Oklahoma Sooners trying to keep their season alive, going on the road to face number 4 Alabama. Bama has looked solid. I mean, offense and the first half their offense defense looked great. In the second half they kind of looked like dog shit against LSU. Oklahoma's been so up and down this year. I mean, the beginning of the season they looked like a top 10 team, top 5 teams going to the playoffs. And when Mateer got hurt and he came back, it's just been, a loss to Texas, loss to Ole Miss, beat Tennessee. I mean, I think it's going to be a solid game. I think Bama is going to take that game last year at Norman that kept them out of this playoffs the exact same way they did. I mean, this is basically Oklahoma's playoff burst on the line. I mean, Milrow last year, they went into Norman with their playoff hopes on the line and got absolutely decimated. I think they take what happened last year and put it in this game. I think Bama comes out, and I think their passing attack is going to go not nuclear, but I think it's going to be very successful, even though Oklahoma's a very good defense. So I think it'll be a great game, good SEC Classic, but I'm going with Alabama to get it done over the Sooners, probably by a touchdown or field goal, but I trust Ty Simpson more than I do Mateer for now, so I'm going with Bama.
Yeah, I feel like this whole season I've been kind of picking like Oklahoma, but like Will said, they've been like very up and down. You never know like what Oklahoma team you're gonna see. If you're gonna see their very good team, or if you see that team that's gonna lose these big games. So, and Alabama on the other hand has not been that inconsistent. So I also think Bama is gonna go in and win this game with the chip on their shoulder. I think they just have the better team this year too, and Oklahoma just they haven't looked the same since Mateer came back from that surgery still. So yeah, I also got Bam on this.
Yeah, I'll keep it quick. I'll take Bama. They've looked better recently, and I don't know, they've been controlling games a lot better than Oklahoma has, so I'll take Bama.
I'm kind of with all you guys here, especially with it being at Alabama. I think that they just have too much on the line, and I think Oklahoma. Honestly, they obviously have nothing to lose in terms of like how they should approach this game, but at the same time, they have everything to lose because if they lose this game, they're just done for the season. And I think that this might just be too much pressure for them. I think that they're going to fold just because it's a crazy environment. It's tough being on the road like this, and I think Alabama is just going to overpower them. I think they win by probably 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, give me the Tide.
All right, should be a good one in the SEC. Next matchup, we got the Group of 5 potentials. Number 24, South Florida, who just got ranked this previous ranking, going on the road to Navy. I don't know. I just feel like this is one of those games where, like, it's at Navy. I feel like anything could happen. I mean, if Horvath is back for Navy, I think Navy could beat South Florida. It could be an upset. I mean, South Florida's offense has looked great. I mean, they beat Florida earlier in the year. I know they got smacked by Miami, Florida, but their offense is so good. I think their quarterback last week started like 15 of 15 or something like that, which was absolutely impressive. But, yeah, I think this will be a tough physical game. Navy's going to bring the physical and toughness with the run game with Horvath. But I'm going with South Florida. I think they score way too many points. And give me the Bulls.
Yeah, I was about to go opposite of you because I thought you were gonna take Navy after that long explanation, but I also got USF here. I think they're gonna try to stick with this ranking right now. They gotta try to squeeze in. They gotta win. They just gotta keep winning if they want any chance at squeezing in those playoffs. So I think they're gonna be playing as hard as they possibly can. I think they're gonna win this one.
For me personally, I don't really know who's going to win this game. I think they're both about decently evenly ranked. Maybe USF's a little bit better, but it's Veterans Day today, so I'm going to go ahead and take Navy.
Respect to Hayden there. Shout out to the veterans out there. I want to take Navy. I really do. But also the last time I picked them, they lost. So that's kind of holding myself back a little bit. For that reason, I'm going to have to go with South Florida.
All right, big matchup in the American Conference, or was it AAC? Which one is it? The American? Okay. Next one we got Big Ten matchup. Number 21 Iowa coming off that tough loss against Oregon, going on the road to face number 19 USC. This will be an interesting matchup. I think being on the West Coast, I think that favors USC. But Gronowski and his toughness, I think Iowa's defense will be fine, will be solid against USC, even though USC has a very balanced passing and running attack. And for USC, their season is in front of them still. They got Oregon still coming up in a couple weeks. If they win that and they win out, I think they have a good case to make the playoffs. I think they'll be at a good spot. But yeah, I've watched both these teams. I'm going to take USC in this one. I think they just had the better offense in this game. Maeva will be able to throw the ball downfield. I think the run game is going to be successful. So I'm going with USC in this one.
Yeah, I feel like this USC team is like a completely different team when they're at home than when they're away. I feel like especially bringing Iowa all the way out there, um, I think USC is going to be able to get it done. The only thing that concerns me is if they are looking forward at next week a little too much because they play Oregon next week, um, or at least their next game. So that'd be my only issue, but hopefully they're just locked in on this week, and I got USC.
Yeah, I will also take USC. I just feel like they've been the better team recently, and like Gavin said, at home they've played good. I mean, they whooped Michigan at home,
Hayden's still
so
there.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Hayden. All right, I guess
You can go, bro.
For me, I think that this game being at USC, like we said, is huge. I don't think USC is a great home environment, but I think that it's so far away for Iowa that I think it's going to really benefit the Trojans in this one. I don't think that Iowa's going to be able to muck this game up enough to give them a real chance. It's not going to be rainy. It's going to be perfect for USC to take advantage of it, and I think that their offense will just be a little too much. And if they get a few touchdowns on the board, I don't think Iowa will even be able to keep up at all because they have no passing attack. So, gonna have to go with USC in this one for sure.
Well, Hayden will be back with us shortly. He had some technical difficulties. But moving on to our last matchup, it's prime time. ABC, SEC matchup, night game. Number 10, Texas, whose season is going up but could end this week. They go on the road to face number 5, Georgia. And Georgia looked absolutely impressive last week against Mississippi State. That run game looked incredible. I know it's Mississippi State, but they look good. Arch Manning's playing his best football so far. I mean, that's what they need from him. This is what everyone expected him to be at the beginning of the season, even though he was struggling mightily. He's looked a lot better in these last couple of weeks. I think it's always a great game between these two teams. We saw last year SEC championship, great physicality, back and forth game. But Athens at night, yeah, I'm going with the dogs in this one. Give me Georgia. I think they beat Texas. I don't think Texas season's over. They still have Georgia and they still have A&M, which is crazy. They could probably beat A&M and lose to Georgia and still probably get in because of the SEC bias in the CFP. But I'm going with Georgia.
Yeah, I am still not bought on this Texas garbage. They have been playing a little better recently, but especially at this upcoming schedule, their season is cooked. They're not winning this game, and they are not beating Texas A&M either. With that being said, I have Georgia this week.
I've really gone back and forth on this because I've watched Georgia so many times just disappoint and have these close games. And I just think that it's black magic. That's the only reason why they only have one loss right now. I mean, they realistically could have 2 or 3 losses, but a few bullshit bounces and lucky calls have gone their way. So for me, I don't want to do this, but at the same time, I have to. I'm going with Texas to pull the upset in Athens. They're going to get it done, pull off one of the biggest upsets of the year. I think that Sarkisian's going to have some crazy play calls, and I think that out of nowhere, Arch is actually going to play good in a big game. I think Texas just barely squeaks it out.
I'm back now, bros. If you can hear me.
Yeah, I got you. You missed USC, Iowa, and now we're on Texas, Georgia.
Okay.
Do you want to make both your picks?
I picked USC. To keep it short, just keep it at that. And then I'm gonna take Georgia at home.
That should be a great game. Georgia and Texas, it always is. We'll see how Arch plays. Can he keep up the momentum? We will see. But moving into moving to the NFL things here. Last week there was a good amount of games that were played. We will start with the one that just ended last night. The Eagles took down the Packers 10-7. It was one of the most ugliest games I've ever seen. But it was a defensive showdown. I mean, Jalen Hurts outplayed Jordan Love. I mean, they both kind of played like garbage. But yeah, Jalen Hurts, I guess, likes everyone on his team but A.J. Brown, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, A.J. Brown should be one of the best receivers in the league, but he's getting out-received by Dallas Goedert, Will Shipley, and Devonta Smith, which is absolutely incredibly dog shit. But, yeah, I don't think Jordan Love's that good. I think this defense for the Packers is absolutely carrying them. And the fact that they now have lost to the Browns, the Panthers, and now they're tied with the Bears is just absolutely insane with the defense they have. So, yeah, the Eagles get a win before their massive matchup this week at home against Detroit, whose offense has rejuvenated, as we saw last week against the Commanders.
Sorry, did you just talk about the Eagles-Packers there, or did you talk about another game too?
Oh, no, I was talking about Eagles-Packers, but I was saying the Eagles have the matchup with the Lions next week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this Eagles-Packers game was very boring to watch. Neither of these offenses were explosive at all. Coming from a guy that has A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts on his fantasy team, it is disappointment after disappointment every single week. I'm pretty sure other than like 1 week, A.J. Brown's maybe combined for like 15 for all the other weeks that he plays. So it's bad. This upcoming week should be a good matchup for the Lions. This is going to test us. Kind of going into the Lions game, we had Dan Campbell calling plays this week, and our offense didn't get stopped a single time. So that was nice to see, and we'll see if it carries over next week against the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't got much to say about the game last night, but man, it was just a dogfight. I mean, neither team could score at all. I mean, it's just the Packers are pathetic too. I don't understand how to go to the end of the game you have a fourth and I think it was 1 or 2, very short distance, and you just run an inside zone play. Like, are you serious? I know you got Josh Jacobs on for their your running back, but man, your game's on the line. You got a chance to go get a 4th and 1, and you do a little inside zone is absolutely nuts. And then the kicker, when he got his chance to, just sold. I couldn't tell if it got tipped or not. It looked like it did to me, but I heard that you guys said it didn't earlier, so I don't know. Either way, the Packers they be selling all the time, I swear. So a good win for the Eagles, though.
Yeah, that play was so obvious that the Eagles defense actually called out their play before the ball was snapped.
Yeah, I saw that. The one
There's a video online of somebody mic'd up saying inside zone to the left, and then they just stuff it.
Yeah,
So.
LaFleur just literally has the same basic play calls every single game. I feel like he never switches it up. It's bad, but.
Okay, for me, I think that this game honestly had both sides really bad play calling from each standpoint. I mean, the Eagles had a chance to just salt the game away, and then they're trying to do passes when Jalen Hurts can't even throw a ball 10 fucking yards downfield. I don't really understand that. And then didn't they go for it on 4th down on their last offensive possession on 4th down? I mean, what was even that, dude? Like, honestly, I would rather them kick the field goal because you have a better chance, and then you're taking a few more seconds off the clock. Probably going to make it, go up 6 points. Now they got to go down the length of the field, but instead they just need a field goal now. Like, I just thought that was so stupid. Like, they could have salted it away, and then you got, the Packers doing that, like we just talked about on 4th down. Just, honestly, with the low scoring and the bad play calling, it was really not a great game to watch. It was just kind of cool because it was close at the end, but honestly, from a fantasy football standpoint, I was very happy with the outcome of this game because A.J. Brown did absolutely nothing, just like I needed. So I held on versus Caleb in our fantasy league. That was very important for me. So I'm sitting in second place right now, so I'm happy about that. That's honestly what I'm taking away from this game.
Yeah, there's some absolute good games this week, and a lot of stunners this week that teams just dominate. I mean, we're not. This one's game domination. I'll start with the great performance Colts Falcons. This is a great game in Germany, and I got to just talk about one man. His name is Jonathan Taylor. I mean, 32 carries for 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like those are absolutely ridiculous numbers. And I mean, the Colts when he's rolling are so hard to stop. I mean, Daniel Jones throws the ball well, and I mean, with John Taylor playing like that, it's so hard to beat him. I understand the Steelers beat him, but the way the Steelers look this week against the Chargers, which we'll get into that. I'll get into that in a little bit. It kind of questions like, how did the Colts lose that game, turning the ball over 5 times? They only lost by 7 anyway. So, I mean, if you take away 2 of those turnovers, they probably win that game. But a team that made a statement this week was New England Patriots. I think they proved, and I know I'm going to say it's going to be a hot take. I think the AFC runs through New England right now. I mean, they have looked like the best team in the AFC. I mean, Drake May is absolutely playing at MVP caliber level. And, I mean, you guys can shake your heads on this. But the Bills just got beat by the Dolphins by 17 points. And they just beat the Chiefs. I mean, the Dolphins are absolutely dog shit. And Josh Allen looked like a rookie quarterback out there, turning the ball in the red zone, can't not hold on the football on a tush push. Like, are you shitting me? That's why the Eagles can only do it, because he fucking fumbles it. And, I mean, when your Bills defense give up the first most rushing yards in the NFL, like, that's worse than Dallas, Cincinnati, and the Giants. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, you got to fix that defense up sooner rather than later because the Dolphins should not be exposing you that bad. And the Seahawks made a statement. Their defense is very good. DeMarcus Lawrence had 2 recovery touchdowns. Oh, guess what? Dallas let go of him. Awesome right there. Stafford, Rams. Stafford is on an MVP caliber season right now. And then with 4 touchdowns. I mean, Puka had one. Devontae had one. I think, was it Colby Parkinson and then Davis Allen, I think. Like, I've never heard of the last 2 guys spreading the ball over the place. And the last game we got, this is a Sunday Night Football, and I can't believe I watched this game. For the most part of this game was just so boring. I mean, Aaron Rodgers taking safeties. I mean, throwing picks. I mean, I understand Calvin Austin can't catch the football because he has the EBGBs with his hands. But, I mean, like, it's just like, the Pittsburgh Steelers should have gotten at least another receiver. I mean, I know they couldn't get Jacoby Myers, but what about Jalen Waddle? What about Rashid Shaheed? What about Chris Olave? I mean, there's so many options they could have went for, but instead they stuck with Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin. I mean, this is why I think the Steelers are descending and the Ravens, as we saw, are ascending. So I think Rodgers just didn't look – that was his first game as a Steeler the whole year. I mean, he just looked scared out there. I mean, he was scared to take – like, he was scared to, be out there. He was taking sacks left and right, had that safety. I mean, it was just a bad game. Chargers, and their injury riddle, no Joe Alt and no Rashawn Slater, and they just fucking beat the shit out of them. I mean, that wasn't in a game. But, I mean, yeah, those are my Sunday statements right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to add on to that other than the Steelers blow again. Aaron Rodgers still sucks, like I've been saying all year. Definitely his worst game he's had all season, but it was just absolutely piss poor. And then I just want to say congratulations and I'm sorry to Matthew Stafford. He is finally over 500 in his career as a quarterback, which I'm pretty sure it's like the longest it's taken a quarterback to get to 500 in his career ever in the history of the NFL. So I'd just like to say congratulations to Matthew Stafford on that, and I'm sorry that you had to be a part of the Detroit Lions for so long. Other than that, yeah, Jonathan Taylor definitely is just ridiculously good. He's insane. Offensive Player of the Year, definitely, I think. There's some other guys up there, but he's, I think, definitely in the lead right now for that.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of games there, but I'll just touch on the Steelers. Man, tough one here. I don't even know what to say.
Talking
Honestly,
about all of them.
Yeah,
everything.
Well, I'll whatever. Steelers. I'll just start with them. Terrible, dude. I don't even know. Rodgers' worst game of the season so far. That's for sure. He looked awful. The defense I thought played pretty well. Gavin, you need me to say that again or what? Rodgers played awful. Is that what you need to hear or what? Okay. Yeah, he didn't play good. The defense played good, so I guess that's a good point. That's a good thing about the team. But yeah, I don't even care about the other games. Just terrible effort. So whatever.
All right. Hopefully Hayden's audio came out there. That was a little choppy, but honestly, my biggest takeaway from the weekend is the Ravens. I think are for sure winning the AFC North now after what I've seen. The Steelers look like absolute dog shit. Aaron Rodgers is not very good, and they look terrible. But I'm also saying that while also not having watched a single snap of that game. I did not want to waste my time watching two mid teams go at it, so I didn't watch the game, and I don't
It
feel
was a
bad about
waste
it.
of time.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't watch it. And the Ravens beat the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy looked like shit again, proving me right, so that's cool. But I don't really care too much about that. The Browns lost. They had two terrible penalties, and I think it's just completely and totally obvious that they're tanking now because they had the chance to get the ball back to tie it up, but they just jump off sides and get another terrible penalty as well. I mean, absolutely terrible. I didn't even watch the game until like middle fourth quarter because I just did not think it would be worth it. I did see that we got a kick return and punt return touchdown on us. Yeah, so that was awesome. Outgained the Jets, played better than them in pretty much every aspect, and then just choked it away. Just absolutely terrible. So I'm hoping that we just get a good draft pick out of this year because we absolutely need a receiver and honestly a quarterback because Dylan Gabriel is terrible, and so is Jerry Jeudy and everyone else that calls himself a receiver on this team. So please, can we not screw it up again? I want Carnell Tate and who fucking knows who else because we're still fucked. Other than that, fuck. The Broncos look terrible in their game. They barely won versus the Raiders. So, fucking wow. They just have a bunch of close games. They're not very good. They're frauds. And Jonathan Taylor is great to have in fantasy, man. I mean, he just goes off every single week, Shout out to him because he's the whole reason I won my game. 50 burger. Love to see it. And I didn't believe in the Patriots this week, but they did get it done versus Tampa Bay. And I think that they're kind of proving themselves as one of the better teams in the AFC. You could definitely make a case that they could be one of the favorites. So good for them. And then the Seahawks looked absolutely dominant. And I'm surprised that they're this good because, JSN has been insane for them, and Sam Darnold looks really good as well. And I think that, they could be honestly a NFC championship type of team. It just kind of depends if they can keep getting these good wins. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, I do want to add on to that Jets-Browns game. It must have been a halftime adjustment to tank because I don't think they were trying to tank when they got that kickoff and punt return returned on them in the first quarter, which I had their defense in fantasy, so that was awesome. So thank you, Browns.
Yeah, that's really cool that happened to you. That's
Yeah, a lot of
awesome.
games that were statements, upsets, and all over the place this past weekend. But we'll start. We got 4 games for this upcoming week. First one we got Buccaneers coming off a tough loss. Baker played well against the Pats. They going on the road to face Josh Allen and the Bills, who just got absolutely destroyed by the Miami Dolphins. And I'm keeping this short and sweet. What I saw from these two teams the past weekend, one of them looked absolutely terrible. One of them kept it alive. Yep, I'm going against my gut. I'm going Tampa on the road, getting it done against the Bills. The Bills' run defense is absolutely atrocious. Bucky Irving's coming back this week, and he's going to have a monster game. A monster game. He's going over 100 yards rushing against this terrible Bills rush defense. I'm going with the Bucs. Their defense is solid. I don't think the Bills are good. I don't think they're. It's possible the Bills finish in the wild card slot, either as the 6th or the 7th seed, and don't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce off that, make it quick. I'm going Buccaneers. I believe in Baker Mayfield, and I just don't think the Bills are good this year at all. So I got the Bucs.
I'm going to go the Bills at home. I just don't see them losing a game like this after a terrible performance. I think they bounce back and get a win here.
I think Hayden made his pick. Not sure who he picked, but for me, looking at the last week and how these teams have been trending, the Bills have looked absolutely terrible, and the Bucs have been a surprise team for some, but I predicted them to do somewhat of what they're doing, and I really like their passing attack. Baker has been struggling recently, which I don't like, but I think that this game they're going to get back on track. I think that for both these teams, this is a huge game, but I think that the Bucs just are going to want it more. Baker in the big games, I mean, you just can't really pick against him. So for that reason, I'm going with the Bucs to get a good bounce back win in Buffalo.
Yeah, it should be a good one in Buffalo. Next one we got NFC West Showdown. Both 7-2 teams. The Seattle Seahawks going on the road to face the LA Rams and Matthew Stafford. I think this game's going to be a great game. You know, I think both quarterbacks have been playing great. Darnold's been playing good for Seattle and Stafford for the Rams. I think the Seahawks defense has a chance to show if they're legit against this very good Rams offense with Kyron, Puka, Devontae, and whoever else they can throw in there that's been good. Terrence Ferguson, yeah, add him in there. But this is going to be a solid game. I think it's going to be back and forth. But I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks in this one. I think they'll get it done on the road. That defense, I think they force a turnover or two. If they do that, they will win this game 100% because I think their defense is just slightly better than the Rams. So give me Darnold and the Seahawks to go into LA and pull off the upset against Super Bowl favorite Rams. So give me the Seahawks to prove it.
Yeah, see, I'm going to take this one back to last year. Everyone thought Sam Darnold was this epic MVP caliber quarterback, and then we hit Week 18 last year when the Vikings played the Detroit Lions, and we saw that backup QB Sam Darnold come out of them, and we just haven't ever seen that in Matthew Stafford's career. Dude's a dog, and he's got a whole bunch of dogs around him. The Rams' offense, too good. Their defense, pretty solid, too. I'm taking the Rams.
For me, I got a lot of respect for the Seahawks. They've surprised me this year. But looking at their schedule more in depth, I don't think they've really played too many great teams. I think that the Rams are more battle tested, and I think that Stafford is playing at an MVP level right now. I also have him in fantasy, and he has been absolutely cooking lately. So for that reason, I think that he is going to just have another great game. Even though it's the Seahawks, their defense is good, but I got the Rams and Stafford, baby.
All right. Well, man, I don't know what your problem is with the Seahawks defense. I mean, it's not like they've been one of the best defenses in the National Football League. It's not like the Stafford's going to throw a all over them, I don't think. Unless you think Matthew Stafford's the new Mahomes or something, but like, Jesus. I mean, this year Stafford's been playing a lot better than Mahomes.
Matthew Stafford is a good old, same old Matthew Stafford, absolute Georgia Bulldog.
Well, Hayden is back. Hey, would you like to make a pick in this game? Rams and the Seahawks?
Rams. I love Stafford.
Okay. Well, I heard him say Stafford, so I'm assuming he took the Rams. Did I hear that, Hayden, right?
Rams.
All right. Well, I'm the one going to Seattle here, and I trust their defense. Next, we move to AFC West Showdown. Two teams that have had unexpected seasons. The Chiefs, who are 5-4, who are absolutely. Are they 5-4, or am I wrong on that? Are they 5-4?
I think they are.
Okay, yeah. They go on the road to face this Denver Broncos team. And I think with the division matchup, with how good the Broncos defense is, I think they're going to be able to have success against Mahomes and this Chiefs offense, which has looked on and off the whole season. Just because it's at home, I know it's Mahomes, I know it's Kelsey, I know it's Worthy, Rasheed Rice, Chris Jones, Carl Aftis, all that they're going to do their part. But it's in Denver, that atmosphere, that crowd. Yes, give me Denver in this one to put Kansas City at the 500 mark and potentially be on the outside looking because guess who's coming up? The Baltimore Ravens are just sneaking their way up there. But no, the Chiefs will probably find a way to make it because the Steelers are going to choke the season. You know it's coming.
The Broncos did not look good last week at all, but the Chiefs have also not looked good this year. And I'm going to take this back all the way back to my original pick in the first episode of the season where I had the Broncos finishing first in the division. I'm taking the Denver Broncos in this game at home against Mahomes and his puny little Chiefs.
Yeah, I'll take the Broncos. Ain't nobody want to take the Chiefs, no matter who they're playing. I can't stand them.
All right. Man, if we're going to take it all the way back to the first episode, I think that I have to do what's only right for me, and that is me not believing in the Broncos. I don't care what their record says. They're not good. I don't care. They have these close games versus these bad teams, and I just think that now they finally have the world looking at them. They finally have all the eyes they've been waiting for. Oh, look at us. We're the best team in the division now. Not just yet. I think that Mahomes is going to come in there, and he's going to show why that the Chiefs still have just a little bit of life left. I hope that they don't win. Honestly, I want the Broncos to win, but I think that they're frauds, and I think that the Chiefs are going to expose them. So give me the Chiefs. They're going to get it done.
All right. Well, that will be a good one in Denver. Last one we got, Sunday Night Football, absolute showdown between two NFC juggernauts. The Detroit Lions looking to keep their offensive momentum going into the hostile spot that is the Philadelphia Eagles. Sunday Night Football, that Philly crowd is going to be rocking as always, hostile, talking shit. But, yeah, this is going to be a solid game. Both defenses are solid. Both offenses can turn up when they need it to. We saw what the Lions did this week. They were absolutely unstoppable. They threw Jameson Williams the ball finally more than 4 times a game. And, did you see what he did? Put 116 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown only had like 4 or 5 catches. But, yeah, Laporta got involved. Montgomery was involved. Isaac Tesla even got involved. So the Lions were cooking when they had all those guys involved. The Eagles, in the other half, they got to get A.J. Brown involved in this game. They want to win. He has to be a major part in this game. He's got to be great. Dallas Goedert needs to be good. Devontae, they all got to play their role. Saquon, even Jahan Dotson, he's got to be solid. He's got to have at least one decent play. I think it's going to be one of those games where it comes down who gets that ball last. And I'm going with my gut. I don't know. This is tough. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Fuck Philadelphia. We're going with Detroit in this one. Fuck Philly. I'm Cowboys fan. I can never pick Philly. Fuck the Eagles. I'm going with Dan Campbell and the Lions. If Dan Campbell's still calling offensive plays, which he should, because they will score 40 points in this game if he does, probably. But, yeah, give me the Lions and Jared Goff.
Yeah, obviously we know who I'm taking. I'm taking the Lions, especially with how dominant our offense looked last week. I know we were playing the Commanders and they're a terrible team right now, but Dan Campbell calling these plays, we just looked absolutely unstoppable. The difference was, I don't think we called a single wide receiver screen pass last week, and look at that. We score on every single drive. So we were not even close to as predictable as we have been all year. Like Will said, J-Mo's getting involved, which hasn't happened yet all year. Laporta's getting involved. We're spreading the ball all over the place. So when they have no idea who the ball's going to, it's a lot harder to play defense. And I think this Philly team is kind of predictable where they're going with it. They kind of lock on a couple of receivers, and that's all they throw to the entire game, and then have a couple Saquon runs in there. So I'm hoping our D lines can step up again, like they did against the Buccaneers, and hopefully we can come out with a dub.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions. They've just looked like the better team recently. The Eagles struggle with the Packers, which, I did pick the Packers to win, but neither team looked good in that game. And the Lions came off a very, very impressive W. Their offense looked amazing, so I'm going to say they keep rolling in the next week.
All right, for me, I just don't believe in Philadelphia right now. This year, they've looked up and down, and recently, they look bad. I mean, their offense is just looks so inconsistent. Hurts honestly looks more like a running back than a quarterback. They got like a triple option back there at this point. So I think that Dan Campbell calling plays for the Lions, I think it opens up so much more, and they're finally getting the full usage out of Jamison Williams, like they should have been doing the whole time. And I think that with all the weapons they have and just a good defense as well, I think that if they finally click on all cylinders, there's not too many teams that can beat them when they're at their best. So for that reason, I think that they're going to continue with their momentum from the past week, and I'm also going to be taking the Lions.
All right. Well, should be a great game in Philly, as we have talked about. But last thing I like to mention, we're going to talk about this briefly. Start of the NBA season has been, as a Cavs fan here, has been a little up and down. I think we've shown flashes of where we can be very good, and last night against the Heat, where we just give up 140 points. I mean, it's just on and off with these guys. I mean, it's just we blow out a team. Like we beat Philly, then we lose to the Miami Heat, and it absolutely blasphemy. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We can blow out a team, we can beat good teams, and then we just suddenly play like shit against a team we should beat. I'm not worried. It's 10 games into the season. When we get everyone healthy, Cavs will be fine. I'm not worried. We're going to be a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, so I'm not really worried, but I do have some concerns defensively, though.
Yeah, as a Bulls fan, it's kind of been similar, up and down. Like I said, when we made predictions, everybody was making fun of me, but we're a top team in the East right now, even without our best 2 players currently. So, proud of the team right now. Lost a couple close ones, just kind of sad, but it's all right. We're still towards the top, and we just got to keep going. Hopefully, we'll get some guys back from injury soon.
Is Hayden here?
Yeah, I'm here. If you can hear me. Yeah,
Oh, you
Celtics.
are up.
He don't want to talk about Celtics.
All right. Since Hayden's not here, I'll cover his Celtics portion for him. The Celtics are fucking
But if
dog.
he comes back in, we'll let him talk about it. But Rob, you can go.
All right, I'll keep it quick for his sake. The Celtics aren't good, and they're a play-in team at best, so they're not good. And they don't have Jason Tatum, so they're fucked. They're not good. The end of story. For the Cavs, as a Cavs fan, they have some good wins, but also they lost versus the Knicks, which I didn't like. They had a good win versus the Bulls the other night, but I think that they just got to be more consistent. Hopefully, Garland's had a few games where he's been back, but he also left mid-game with the same toe injury, so that wasn't cool to see. And then also, Kenny Atkinson got ejected, so that that was kind of bullshit. And then we tie the game with a ridiculous Donovan Mitchell fading 3 in overtime, and then we just leave a cutter wide open with .4 seconds to go. Don't really know why they wouldn't be packing the paint on that last possession, but yeah, that was really fucking annoying to see. So that pissed me off, but I think we'll be fine, especially once we get another shooter and Strus back and then Garland fully back. I think that we'll be just fine.
Hayden, you want anything to add about your Celtics?
I'll be back if you can hear me. Hopefully. All right, cool. Yeah, Celtics, they've looked pretty mediocre, that's for sure. Right now, they're up by 1 on the Sixers with about 3 minutes, so hopefully they don't sell this game again for me. But, yeah, basketball-wise for the Celtics, that's about it. Michigan just came off a clutch W. Gavin, I watched that. That was awesome. I don't know what else to say.
All right. Well, anyone else got anything out? Or are we good?
Actually, shout out Brooke,
Nope.
Rookie
All
of the
right.
Week.
That was
16-0
another episode of the podcast. 6-0. Here we go. Yep. We only got 2 more weeks until this big game on the 29th. I don't know if you guys see it, but it will be streamed on YouTube. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be the year it happens because Ohio State's going to absolutely steamroll them. And, yeah, it should be a good one. But, yeah.
That's what they thought last year, too.
Here we go with this. Here we go. Delusional Michigan fans, as always. But anyways, that concludes another episode of the podcast. We thank you for listening, and we'll see you for the next one.
Just got disconnected again.